Pounders for the night. It's late night plus EV time, baby. Let's rip 3 poodles at a time. And let's see how this goes. Oh, 12 out of 12. Good start. We got at least one decent room without all pounders. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this one's already 7 out of 12. Good. So these are gonna go quick. Bindle says Madman, Scoot, Madman. Yeah, I might be. Humble Legend used to be in all of our BBM streams last year. So that's like a throwback name for us. Wow, this room is looking pretty soft, not gonna lie. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, whether that's not gonna be it. To do 3 on the screens, just that's not gonna be it. We're gonna do this. One out of 12. And looks like the second one has filled. Active. Okay. All right. So where are we picking in this one? 9. Okay. Oh, good. Good. All the pounders are asleep. This is perfect. Yeah. Jay, what's up? A little late night. A little late night plus EV, baby. Oh, Logan. Yeah, we're back. Let me know if the mic is fixed too, by the way. Dale in the house. We're not fucking leaving. We're not fucking leaving. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're doing. I did change some of the settings on the mic, so let me know if it is still cutting out or if it is good to go. All right, we're 4 picks away here. Random tip to the streamers out there and to just anyone if you're drafting on PC. If you leave your board up, if you leave the draft board up and you go to another tab, it does not update the here. Let me show it. If I turn this off, it does not update this. See, it says 5 picks away. It's not 5 picks away. It's 2 picks away. So just a little tip there. That is a little nugget for the boys. All right, let's lean in. We'll go Garrett Wilson. We'll take one of JJ or Munra here. AP says, am I crazy for thinking this Giants offense will not be good enough to pay off Neighbors ADP? Ooh, interesting. I think it's going to be serviceable enough, but I could see why you say that. It just feels like Neighbors goes in the right range for risk reward. Like, I'd rather have more Neighbors than Diggs this year. But that could change. If Diggs falls, that could change. All right, on the clock in this room, pick 16 to go with Garrett Wilson. What if we get a little different and just bring Debo down here? Debo doesn't fall to 33, so we're probably getting a little different combination, just making that small, like 2 or 3 wide receiver. 3 by 0.1. So I guess he'll go before Nico Collins pretty soon. So same tier, but just grabbing the later guy, probably less owned. Chris in the house, what's up, my man? I saw you in the draft and had to see if you were streaming. Yeah, this is number 2 tonight. This is number 2. Jason said, got the 4 where you have 9 like your streams. Hit like and subscribe. Appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Jason in the house at the 4. We have to take a peek. I want to say, is this you? Is this you? Where's the third poodle? Third poodle's right here. It just filled. Jesus, man. Give us. All right. Logue jumped in this one. He's at pick 3. Scoots here at 8. Flox Kryptonite. That's kind of funny. I've seen it on Twitter, but I have not seen. So again, when you leave You got to close the draft where otherwise it doesn't update and it can auto pick you basically without letting you know. What's this guy want to do? He goes Ayuk. Let's bring in Devontae Adams. We get to double tap, which is fun. This actually helps, I think, because then we don't have to worry about this room for a while. So I'll actually put this one on the end. This one went first. So let's do it in order here. Jaybird, that's right. That's right. That name sounds very familiar. Jaybird picking at 4 here. Error. That's a clean name. Almost made the mistake. Oh, yeah, baby. We love this start. The Garrett Wilson, Drake London start. Both by week 12s. Not too worried about that. Kyron goes at 32. We can go Laporta here at 33. Why don't we just pull in Josh Allen here? We have this correlation between Josh Allen for week 17 with Garrett Wilson. Let's just pull that all the way in. Oh, yeah. Chris, that's Chris's username error. That's so clean. That's so clean. Josh will sometimes fall to a 40, but why risk it here? Jay says 24-hour live stream at 2K. Jesus, piss bottles, diapers, lots of caffeine, baby on stream. We're gonna have to send the wifey and kiddo to like the in-laws or something. We haven't figured out the dynamic of that, but yes, we will be doing a 24-hour live stream at 2,000 subscribers, and we're on our way. We had like 244 in the last 28 days. Literally riding a wave right now. Let's bring in TT. Okay, we're not picking for a while here. Up in 5. Biggest thing with this is just being able to track your teams. And what's nice about the overlay you're going to see is we're going to easily be able to figure out where our correlation is. Fantasy Football Garage in the house. Did you do a stream today, man? Yeah, seriously, you guys are the actual goats. The actual goats. The YouTube memberships have have increased like 700%. Maybe more. What do we want to do here? Green Bay, Seattle, Jacksonville, New Orleans. There's really nothing that I sort of just want to go 42. I kind of hope we get elite QB here. I sort of want to go Lamar Jackson for some reason. I'll cover. Let's actually cover real quick the advance rates on this contest as well. So the Poodle is a 20 entry max. It is actually relatively large. 55,800 entrants. 2 out of 12 advance, then 1 out of 6, then 1 out of 5, then a 310 seat final. So what's interesting is week 15 is actually harder than week 16. 1 out of 6 versus 1 out of 5. Not a huge deal, but there's definitely something. 40K to first, 20K to second, 15K to third. Nice payouts. It's a 310 person final, which is good for 300, which is more than double your investment if you were to max it. A-Rich goes, which is good. We don't want a QB there. This range is sort of butt. It's just kind of butt. I guess can we get Kittle to come back to us at 64? That's gonna be the hope here. If Kittle comes back, we'll have a little double stack. We can bring that in. We'll be done at QB with Debo, Mixon. Maybe we bring in Mostert for that week 16 game there. All right, finally coming back around to us in this draft. I actually like having a team of 12. 12 or 1. It helps with these triple drafts. Who are we looking at here at 36 and 37? Flowers Lamar feels like it kind of feels chalky, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Uh-oh. They're all getting close. This one's 2 picks away. But we know what we're doing here. If he's gone, maybe we just go Worthy. All right, we're on the board. Ooh. What if we just go like naked Jalen Hurts? Let's go Sam Laporta with Jalen Hurts. Let's just get weird. We get Sam Laporta falling 6 picks. And we do get Kittle here. So we get the double in San Fran. We're on the clock here with 3 receivers. That's always good. Pick 42. We have a 4-pick drop on Kelsey. And actually, we wanted Lamar here. So let's grab Lamar. That was Lamar, not Hurts. Are we sure? Oh, really? Yeah. I just wanted to go Lamar there. It's fine. Hurts goes at 41. We've seen these guys fall into the 4th round pretty consistently. I can't stop clicking them there. Thank you for the yeah. Hurts is just like, you're not going to be able to get anyone with him besides Goddard. Doesn't feel as good. So I'd almost prefer Lamar over Jalen Hurts for that reason. And then what happens if this team goes away from the tush push? Like with no Kelsey under center this year for Philly. I don't mind just honestly ranking Lamar over Hurts. Yeah, DK. I don't understand why Underdog puts out the sub $10 contest so infrequently compared to what they could be doing. I sort of agree. Should always kind of have a $5 puppy or a poodle running. But at the same time, they have some huge contests out, and I really trust that they know what they're doing, being able to fill weekly winners, being able to fill the Eliminator, BBM. Those are big contests. So 5 picks away with the Lamar, JJ, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp team. We could bring in Joe Mixon for the bring back here in that game. 66. We could try to get Mixon to fall, but he doesn't typically fall, to be honest. Smash the like and bang the bell. Oh my God, my new PR guy. 100%. You are hired. You are hired. Dude's got one-liners. He's already better at streaming than me. It does help. This way you don't miss these spontaneous streams. That's what that bell's for. Where are we picking on this? Oh, shit. Just do that. We have 8 seconds left because Stevenson is a bring back for by week 14. Does it matter? No. We'll dig ourselves out. 10 seconds. Let's get weird with this one. Let's go Kyle Pitts here. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Just sort of mixing up the elite QBs and the elite tight ends. This one we have Josh Allen and Kittle. We have the Lamar and Pitts. We have Lamar and Laporta. Getting away from the chalk right now. Getting away from the chalk with these three. Similar strategies, but executed differently in each room. Up in 2 picks. We need to catch up at receiver here. Terry would have been a dream, but we need to catch up. We need a double tap. Oh my God, I did it again. You have to turn off the draft board, otherwise it sneaks up on you. Oof, they didn't leave me he went. Let's just go get a stack. It's gross. I don't feel good about it, but let's just grab the stack. Let's bring in Calvin Ridley here. A lot of streamers think he's going to fall, but I really don't mind bringing in Ridley around 60. Like, where's he going to fall to? Like, should he fall behind, like, McConkey? That's like 8 picks. You have D-Hop rising a little bit right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go over some of these rookies, him go over Kamara. He could even pass Addison. But I think he's pretty close to his ceiling. We're talking about like 6, 7 picks, but there's like 5 guys in there. Yeah, everyone believes this just because of the price of other tight ends, but it doesn't mean that he can burn you in a single game slate. He showed it last year. He had multiple finishes as tight end 1 overall. And he had games where he separated from tight end 2. So I do think it's risky to be under 5% Laporta. I'll be hovering around 8% at this price, even if it is high. It's a team that very high-powered offense, and they don't add any substantial pass catchers. So Laporta's still that dude. I'm not going to be too afraid. Let's bring in James Cook here. 11-pick drop. Get the spoons out. Get the... I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. I don't know how many of you were in the earlier stream when the mic was shit. I apologize. Stars in the house. What's up, baby? Meatwad says, "Bang the bell is electric." Yeah, it's quality. All right, Fantasy Football Garage is gonna join us. This is gonna be crazy. Um, do we just go stick to your gut, Pat. Stick to your gut. Stick to your gut. Do we just go Benson? Once Singletary goes in front of Benson, I will then draft Benson. But right now, I just have to keep clicking Singletary. Jay. I got spoons now. Welcome. Welcome. Let me hit you on Fantasy Football Garage. Invite. Dun, dun, dun. Discord? Where should I hit you up? Twitter? Discord? Let's do Twitter. Twitter's easier. Taking the eyes off the prize here. Okay. FFB Garage, right? FFB. All right. Got the headphones on. Little surprise guest too. Wild. Wild. It's getting crazy tonight. McCaffrey says GM was about to call it a night. Maybe I should draft some more Poodles tonight after all. Yeah, we are getting it going. 3 RBs. We're pretty balanced in this spot. And now I'm not mad that we reached up for Curtis Samuel. I do like RB here. Oh God, we gotta go Purdy. We got the double stack. Let's just bring in the double here. Let's just bring in the double. 3 bye week 12s. That's something to look at for room number 1. Oh my. Oh me, oh my. Yeah, it makes it so much easier to actually be able to just have it point out the correlation for you in every room. But Najee here is a correlation for week 16. Wouldn't mind doing that as the first RB, or Stevenson or Warren. He's got to make sure we're actually live. This is not a fill-in. This is not iRobot. 79. Give us... Yeah, this guy might be on auto. Not that I'm really going to be able to track that. But we bring in Deontay Johnson here. Are these all after ADP? No, it's not. Maybe, though. Maybe he went on auto after the Stroud pick? Not sure. Could also just be multi-tabling like us and half paying attention. It looks like we're going to get Najee here. Ooh, we can actually double tap RB. So we'll have a 1-2-4-1. That seems ideal. Let's let's go 2 guys that I just can't stop drafting, I guess. We'll bring in Najee and Stevenson. We have this little week 16 mini now between Lamar and Najee. Okay, this is where we wanted to hit, I think, receiver. Yeah, we want to go Palmer, but is Myers sort of the same play if we can get Myers? Is Myers off the board? Dude, where did Myers get drafted? Myers went at 108? Am I, like, seeing things? Damn, boy. I mean, like, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, but I just expected to see him on the board. Brandon Cooks is there. It's going to fall off pretty quick. This might just be a go get your boys draft. I like the amount of touches we have here at RB. We have 2 14s. We have 2 12s. Oh, dear God. Let's do this. Unless there's a tight end I like. Nope. RB. Nope. Let's do Dawson and let's do Leggett. Gabe's bye week 12. Fantasy Football Garage in the house. What's up, buddy? Oh, just a sec. I think you're muted. Click to unmute, I think. Up in 1 pick in this room. This is the 1-1-4-1. Evan Ingram for double elite, but same bye week. We can't do that. Can go Zamir White. This seems way after ADP. 90. Just 5 picks. Let's go James Conner here. Let's reach up for James Conner. Oh, on the clock. 2-3-5-1. Gabe Davis is still there. Did someone... He reached up for Leggett over Gabe Davis. We couldn't do this because of the bye week 12. Do we just super stack it? Let's just bring in Ricky.
Hey, back here.
Yeah, you're live. You're live. What's up, buddy?
Man, 2 streams in 1 day, back-to-back days.
Really? Was it back-to-back days? I did that?
I mean, Friday, Saturday, did no breaks.
I don't remember.
Out here grinding.
I don't remember. You've been grinding the late night streams yourself.
Yeah, just I'm gonna be out here drafting anyways. Might as well throw it on stream if I can.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Are you gonna max the poodle or try before it fills?
I'm thinking about it. I'll see. I haven't done a poodle yet. I had a pretty busy day. I was touching some
Mhm.
grass out at the
Good.
pool,
Good.
and I did launch the Golden 2. I wasn't super happy with how that ended up, but it's fine. I like my first Golden better. How
Yeah.
about you? What about you gonna max the poodle? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll probably max this one. I like the format.
Me too.
Um, the 310 seat final it feels like a mini BBM to me.
It does. I like the final size, the 310 exactly. And and yeah, you know this. I know you brought me on. You were DMing me. You're like the poodle expert. You got seventh in the poodle last year. So come on and give us some of that poodle
Let's
wisdom.
go. Let's go. Nice hit, man. How much did you hit on that?
It was about 2 units,
Yeah, good. Good. Off
so it's pretty good.
$7? That's pretty
Off
good,
of
man.
7.
That's
Uh,
sick.
but the best part was the sweat. I was in NOLA. I was going to the Sugar Bowl. It was Texas versus
Oh,
Washington, and so me
you
and
were
the
having a
boys
day.
were
Look.
out on Bourbon Street, and I keep showing everyone my phone. Like they're like counting down to midnight, and I'm just like, all right, I guess at that point it already finished up. But it was the same. It was the same weekend. I mean, there was the Saturday game. I remember it's Friday
Oh,
night game. Those games were wrapping up, man. We were sweating it out. It was fun.
that's awesome. Yeah, it's always more fun when you're out with the boys and they can kind of enjoy
Yeah.
that sweat with you, and you're also doing, like, the beers or whatever you do,
You
and,
know what it was? We hit midnight, and they're like, "Oh, drinks on Candyman!" Like, drinks on Chris. And I was
Oh,
like,
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The 2 G's is
maybe I shouldn't
gone.
have told him about that. Shouldn't have told him about that win all night long. But no, it was fun. I could see myself maxing the poodle. It's more of a
Hell yeah.
timing thing. If I can fit it in the next couple of days,
Mhm.
because I don't think it's going to be open much longer.
He goes Polk. I like bringing in Roman Wilson here. We need someone
Hmm.
for bye week 12. We expect him to have a pretty fucking huge role this year, I think. So, let's see what this we're double slapping over here. We're at the 12 in this room. We have a 1-2-4-1,
Okay.
and now this is okay, this is the range I said I would go Trey Benson with Singletary off the board. This is when I'm willing to do it because it was gonna happen, and if we don't get him, looks like we can go Goff with this team, we can go A-Rod, we have options here. We can go Levis with Lamar super late. One of these is, Shakir, I'm sorry, one of those is Benson, let's come back to that. This is a 1-2-4-1, and Lockett's falling way too far.
Yeah, grab Lockett there. I've been taking Benson as my running back 3 on a decent amount of teams, especially if
Yeah,
you've got any of the Cardinals or Rams already,
yeah. This feels good.
especially.
This feels good. Him at, 108 after all the guys that I like to click are off the board. However, we need to catch up at receiver. Who's your guy between Curtis Samuel, Mike Williams, and Joshua Palmer or Myers?
What pick are we at? I'd say Adonai Mitchell.
Oh, is that a big bet on all right, let's do it. Who cares?
Throw him up there. You got a dusty Mike Evans, Curtis Samuel, who's never
Dusty Mike
completely taken
Evans.
over any. He's been with Terry, so there's something there. But before that, even on the Panthers with DJ Moore, he was second fiddle. Go for a guy that obviously Pittman's the assumed number one in Indy, but go for a guy that could mix it up a little bit more. Maybe someone we haven't seen before.
Run the clock.
Major end zone and touchdown upside. Algier, Hunter Henry. Yeah,
Last second decision. I mean, I
throw it
saw
in
the
there.
mini with New England. I know we already have one, but
Who's your other
uh,
tight end on this team right now? It's Kittle.
Kittle.
Yeah,
We have the San Fran triple stack here.
that's fun.
Maybe I think we might actually be able to stop with this crew if we needed to. Can add one more.
Is that 7 so
It's
far?
7. Would you like to
I've been
stop?
liking the 7 wide receiver builds. I'm trying to get
Yeah.
more of those.
Would you like
It
to
has to
stop
feel
with 2
right though.
tight ends here with Kittle and
Yes.
Henry? Okay.
And this is where it becomes, where do you put that extra position then? If you're going to do 7 and 2, you're only spending 9. you're looking at like a 3-6 on the front end, which sounds kind of weird to think when you are allocating, but I'm starting to come around a little bit more to 2 tight end. I think if you imagine that your tight end 2 is not just someone who's going to fill in on your bye week.
Yep.
Obviously, you have the elite tight end, but if your tight end 2 is someone who's going to smash, you're completely diluting that positional group by taking a third tight end, because you're taking someone who's not going to smash like your tight end 2 is going to, and you already have an elite tight end. Or if you have 2 middle guys, one of them could smash. So and just be the guy you need. I was thinking a lot about that based off of how Laporta hit last year. I mean, even Musgrave was decent as a rookie coming in. So I think I'm trying to do a little bit less 3 tight end than I had been doing maybe.
I like that. We can get into that deeper. Here we have a 1-2-5-1. We're pretty good with Pitts, Lamar. We don't have any correlation. These QBs all go late. We can go Myers, or do you like one of these RBs to bring in a third RB?
Spears is a fun, RB3, just throwing it out there. I don't know if you need Myers here. If you feel like you need him, you got Adams.
No, we don't. We already have a Myers-like player. We like Deontay Johnson, sort of more floor type.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a more expensive Myers, but actually should be the wide receiver 1 on his team, right?
Right.
I'm not fading Leggett. I've got Leggett, but Deontay Johnson is probably the wide receiver 1 on that team. To think Xavier Leggett can come in and take it over is a little bit bold. But, and it's still the Panthers, so.
Rock, dude, I gotta put you in timeout for 5 minutes, bro. You gotta chill. All right, 4 picks away on this one. I like the amount of touches here. Obviously, the 2 starters, or our first 2 RBs, by week 14, not the most ideal thing when we're coming up on this this range here. But do you like Dameon Pierce at all?
I'm not drafting a lot of them, but I'm trying to figure out how I can fit him in the right teams, in the right situation. I think there is something to the fact that Joe Mixon doesn't allow anyone else to get touches in his backfields. Although the Texans had historically kind of liked Dameon Pierce, I think now that what are they going to do? Cut him? He's on a rookie contract. They're going to keep him, and they're going to talk him up a little bit. So I think any hype around Dameon Pierce is just kind of a coach speak, but Mixon is really going to dominate that backfield in the touches. I'll let you know. I'm going to go to Texans training camp again, so I'll get some more intel. I'm definitely planning on going.
I love that. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground.
Last year we got a little bit of intel on Tank Dell. Saw Nico Collins looking like a young Andre Johnson, but the Tank Dell was a surprising part. That definitely came out of seeing the training camp. What do we got here? It's the Adnan Mitchell team coming back up.
What's up, baby? This is we have a 1-3-5-1, and we could be done at tight end if we want to go path right. Whoever you want to go here, really. You like Jerome Ford?
Not a ton. Maybe Charbonnet, but I don't know if it fits on this team. You mentioned tight end. Could do it. Yeah, Sharps is fine here. I still lean in a little bit to divisional correlation.
How about Lloyd?
Yeah, Benson. Lloyd's a fun pick. What are we at here? Yeah, I mean he's been climbing up boards, huh?
Oh, big time. And we could go Goff for the correlation instead.
With Laporta, I like that. Do it.
Because we're pretty good at RB. All right, we're up here. We got 18 seconds. Ooh, Braylon Allen's here.
At 184, I'll click him there, especially on a team like this where you still need that 5th running back and you're looking for upside. You took Mixon a little bit later.
We also have the Jets correlation here with Josh Allen. We have the mini with Garrett Wilson. We're on the clock. Fuck.
I love the multi-table. Is it 3 drafts? I've lost count.
Yeah. 1-3-5-1. We are balancing on a tightrope right now. We need silence in the comment section. We need silence. Josh Downs?
Yeah, I like Downs. Sure. I mean, look at this team, but why not Downs?
Why not? Live a little.
A little bit. It's kind of the counter argument to where we took Adnan Mitchell on the other team. Wasn't that a Lamar team too?
Yes, this is. This is. So we went
I
AB
love
on
the
one team, got Josh Downs on the other.
right. I love the strategy when you're multi-tabling. Make sure you get an elite quarterback early. Make sure you get an elite tight end early, and then just fill in the rest.
Life's so easy.
Don't make it hard. You don't want to be drafting your first quarterback in rounds,
I know. We'll do a
14
couple three.
plus
We'll do a couple three
across
QBs.
3 drafts at the same time. Oh, that's just pain. You're going to end up taking the wrong guy, JJ McCarthy, on the wrong team.
CLN in the house.
But yeah, these poodles, you got it. You got to. It's only plus EV if you're multi-tabling poodles and puppies and these kind of contests. It's so much more fun.
Oh, big time. Big time. Jay with the super. Jay comes in here like a big old boss swinging his wallet. I'm not sure anyone's brought up that our guy's wearing sunglasses. Yeah, well, when you draft from space, the moon gets bright.
Yeah, when the future's this bright, come on.
Damn.
I'm also sweating. We haven't brought up that I'm sweating because I'm literally sitting in the fantasy football garage. I'm broadcasting from the garage tonight. It's 90 degrees in Houston with 75% humidity.
That's dedication. That's dedication.
We already put the baby down. It was a late night. I got my in-laws staying with us in the guest room, and I didn't want to be in the office yelling. I knew this was going to be a rowdy one with Pat, a late night stream, so didn't want to be waking everyone up. We're back out. We're kicked out to the garage.
What do you think? Little Keaton Mitchell here? We could house him with this team. He should be good for bye week 14 and 11. I think
I'm not opposed.
I think that makes a lot of sense. This team needs a receiver. I'm just gonna queue up a bunch of guys.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. So go ahead and scroll back up to your QBs real quick. I just want to confirm what we're working with. Josh Allen and Purdy, you got the triple stack with the 49ers, right?
Guess we could go Khalif. Is that what you're looking at?
Who's your other bring back for that game?
I don't think we have one. No, we don't have a Detroit player on this team. So
it's possible to go Khalif. Yeah. I mean, it could work. It's not the most exciting click, but we're on the clock somewhere else.
Chubb at 138. I'm still kind of fading him in this spot.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. I mean, unless you've already got a lot of Dolphins on this team or something, or do you really want to go with the Browns?
Ford, Dowdle, Jahan Dotson, scroll pick, 3 seconds.
I could take Dowdle. I could take Ty Chandler. It's a little bit rich for Ty Chandler.
My bad. Fingers were slow. Fingers were slow. Fingers were slow on that one, boys.
Burton too, and that's
fingers were slow.
Receiver.
All right, let's bring in Khalif here.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
So this is a 2-6-8-2. We have a triple stack with Brock Purdy. We have to bring back with Khalif Raymond. That's the fucking piece you need. So
it's not going to be.
Wow, this draft has been so slow. So slow.
Okay, this is that team. We got the running backs. They're Goff, Lamar
here for the correlation.
Could be scroll back. Do we need another tight end? We got Laporta with bye week 5. I think you're fine there. You just take someone later.
Yeah, so we'll go Bateman. Bring in the stack with Lamar. And then are you good? Like I'm at 33% Henry. I think I drafted him on the other two teams.
I got to get you off him just a little, just to work it down.
All right, so we'll hit an RB. How about Algier?
Let's see the team. Algier. Let me see the wide receivers again real quick. Let's just confirm that. Who we got? Algier. You got Drake London. Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. Let's go. Take forward. I don't mind the forward click. I don't mind it. I have to make it I have to mix it in a little more.
I mean, it's easy to hate on them. There's, Ford is surprisingly, when you look back on his stats last year, it's like kind of surprisingly good in some ways, but it's still hard to click on Browns players. I'm drafting too much Jerry Jeudy as it is.
I think his yards per attempt weren't like too sexy, but
amazing.
I'm more worried about
200 touches, right? It was like 200 carries.
Like towards the end of the season, this could be either a 3 RB backfield or like Chubb just sort of takes it over. So if he doesn't get that early work, it's not as sexy of a pick, in my opinion. I think he's expensive, Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard goes at pick 172.
Man, talk about a player I stopped drafting since the big boards, Chuba Hubbard. I'm taking him a little bit, but I'm all aboard the JB Jonathan Brooks train.
Yeah.
Even with the ACL.
I just think Chuba and Jerome Ford are in such similar situations with, the starter coming back from injury. Of course, Ford, the starter's older, which matters. There's injury history there in the same
And
knee.
the Browns are probably a better team. If you look at their kind of win totals and what they're projected for, it's tough to like the Browns. But
we have James Cook on this one.
Got James Cook.
I don't click a ton of Ty Chandler. We also have Cooper Kupp, but we can go whatever QB you want. We can go Geno, we can go Bryce Young, we can go JJ McCarthy with Lamar. None of those guys are by week 14, so we have a shit ton of options for QB2.
Yeah, I think if we've got a good bet on Lamar, what Ravens do we have so far on this team? Was it just that? Was this the Bateman one, or is that the other one?
No Ravens.
One, right?
This is Nakey. This is Nakey Lamar. This is probably gonna be a Keaton Mitchell team. I think we can lean into these 7 receivers too.
Go Ty Chandler here. You already got Justin Jefferson. I like making these team bets. So anytime I'm making a kind of a toss-up pick in the double-digit rounds, I look to see if I've already got a player on that team, just double down into that, or if it's got me like a correlation for a bring back in the playoff weeks.
Yeah, I'm cool with
kind of how I can. That. I don't like looking at a team that I've drafted and it's like, wow, out of my 18 players, I have 14 different teams. It's spread too thin. So I mean, it could always, you never know. It could work out if you're just taking the best players available and you get right on all of your picks. But at some level, I like to make team bets.
I agree with that.
And then the fun part about obviously week 17 is it forces you to make picks you might not be taking otherwise, or it makes you skip a guy like Hunter Henry who you might be taking, and you're like, well, I've got maybe another tight end I could use as a bring back, like a Ben Sinnott, or depends who we're working with at QB.
Are you drafting Ben Sinnott, and are you Ben Sinnott over Hunter Henry?
You kind of have to be if you want to get him, I think. And I'm drafting him when I've got Jaden Daniels, and especially if I don't have Terry on that team, but I ended up with Jaden Daniels, it's like, okay, maybe I can work in a Ben Sinnott, and it's you strike gold. So I don't try to force it, but I have been doing that a little bit. I'd much rather have Terry McLaurin with the Jaden Daniels team. So I'm taking Terry McLaurin maybe a half round early and trying to get a lot more of him too.
I agree. I know Terry. Someone that seems like he sort of goes at around his floor, but he's never been he's, in my opinion, Terry good. He goes in a good range, but like his ceiling is not like top 10, in my opinion.
I know, and that's confusing too, right? I mean, we'll see how having the best quarterback he's ever played with works for him. If we believe Jaden Daniels is that guy, right? It would have been. I think he got a little bit of the short end of the stick with the quarterbacks that he's played with on the Commanders. Some bad teams.
All right, we don't have to go likely right here. Do we have
pick 162?
Tight end, Ben Sinnott. You want to go Sinnott here?
Yeah, throw him in there.
Or
Kyle
RB.
Pitts, that's kind of fun.
Let's go McLaughlin.
Got Jaleel. What's the?
Let's go McLaughlin.
Yeah, scroll up. I want to see how that works with. Yeah. And then which 2 QBs is this again?
This is just
is the Lamar. Just Lamar, right?
We have JJ. We could go JJ or Bryce Young. I think those would be the targets. Geno is in there as well.
I think so.
And our last 2 picks over here, likely is there for one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Mark Andrews and you have Lamar Jackson, you can always go likely. I like the the option there.
And then let's hit receiver. Who do you like? Who do you
Tez
like at
Walker gone?
receiver that's left?
Go for Devontae Walker.
That far? Can we get him on the way back around?
Well, can he come back? What are we at? 182? I don't know. How many wide receivers do you want on this team?
Yeah, let's hit Devontae
Probably.
Walker. Let's go Devontae Walker. The price
At this point
isn't crazy. I don't like
doesn't really matter.
overstacking Lamar, but at these
Right.
prices, at like 156 plus 3 guys, I don't think it's a huge deal. Especially like we have a team that can. And like Godwin's a great floor piece too, and Devontae Walker. Hopefully, he could be that spike week guy for Baltimore.
People have been talking him up. It's not a player that I tracked very closely in college, but people like him at UNC. We'll see. And I think so. You're looking at obviously at running back on this team. Could this be the team where a Dameon Pierce makes sense? And then you're betting that maybe Joe Mixon is either splitting carries or workload at some point, or they're in a game where they don't really need Joe Mixon, and later in the season they're giving Pierce some of the workload before they make the playoffs.
I'll only go Dameon Pierce here because of the
With the last
Houston, just for the potential of like a Mixon injury, and I'm not sure how high Pierce's ceiling is, even if he gets playing time.
That's true. It's really touchdown dependent. Luckily, it's half PPR format, and so I mean, if the Texans are scoring touchdowns on the ground and Mixon's not playing in that game, who do you think is going to be running those in? Probably Dameon Pierce. It's a lot of ifs.
CJ Stroud over him. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. We saw a whole year of Pierce last year, and it was
he got beat out by Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
you know.
I think
so. I'm
bringing
totally
Braylon
sold.
Allen.
I think Braylon Allen's more exciting.
Yeah,
just from
perfect
on any team.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'm he goes at 187. It's the right pick. We can go.
Dameon Pierce is there with your very last pick, and you still need a running back, and you don't have any Texans correlation. That's the time that I'm thinking you could talk yourself into taking him.
I agree. That's like the only time that you could sprinkle that in my ear. I'm just not big. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be on Pierce.
He fell out of favor. And he never had a lot of draft capital. We had a new regime, new coaches are in last season, and they just didn't use him a lot.
We'll see who comes back in that room. Here we have Geno to pair with Lockett, or do you want to?
I like that.
Do you want to go into JJ McCarthy or Bryce Young? Do you want to push it off?
I'd much rather make the bet with JJ McCarthy because you have Justin Jefferson. You've already got so much draft capital with Geno. I mean,
agree.
Of course, I like Geno. I'm bullish on Geno, but you don't have to have your wide receiver. What is that, 4? He doesn't have to hit and be this big guy you need to win. And then you're going to have.
Do you want likely or Fant? 6 seconds. 4, 3. This is Lamar team.
I think likely.
Okay. We'll bring it likely. I'm under drafting likely, so.
Yeah,
we'll catch up. We're probably at like 6%
Here's
now.
the thing, though. I had I think I had 16 or 18% likely last season. Mark Andrews was out, and it still didn't make a difference.
Right. Oh, it must have though. It must have.
It helped a little, but it wasn't. He wasn't the guy you ever needed in week 17 or anything.
Right, but he was a crazy advancer. Like he was good for advance rates.
I'd have to look back. You're probably right about that.
Yeah, just where he was being drafted and where he finished.
Yeah, I mean, but think about this. There's potentially, and we don't know this. It's kind of early in the summer to make these calls, but there's a lot of tight end 1 positions that aren't clear yet. We were talking about this last night. The Broncos, who's their tight end 1 going to be? Did you even want that tight end 1? Like,
no.
Is it though? So it's a tough one. The Chargers, the Rams. I would like a tight end on potentially on the Rams. So I've got a little bit of Colby Parkinson. Yeah, I think I have like 12% right now. But I've been taking.
How about Higbee? Are you worried about Higbee coming back and sort of ruining, his upside for the end of the season?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's the concern, but it's much as a flyer, later tight end selection, and that's probably on more of my teams where I was going with tight end 3 in those situations and just taking either a lot of Kyler or a lot of Stafford, and then I'm always looking late to have a reason to take, a correlated player.
The Poodle came out around noon Eastern today? No, I'm not entirely sure, but it did come out
Yeah, that sounds
earlier
right.
today. Oh god. Dameon Pierce would be there. All right. Somehow I have 4% Dameon Pierce. I don't know how that happens.
You like him more than I do. Here I'm trying to sell you on him. You got 4%.
Yeah, if I'm gonna click him, this makes sense. Next pick, we have Laporte and Likely. I think we could lean into those two.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Khalif Raymond is another stack. Or we can go someone like we have 2 rookies.
McMillions, 2 rookies. How many rookie running backs do you have?
Just one. It's
Just
not
one.
over. We're not
It's not
over
overboard here.
McMillions, Jalen Hyatt,
Unbelievable.
the Moore brothers. They're not brothers.
They could be.
Let's go Jalen McDonald's.
Yeah, it is.
We get this like
It's
random
like
double in
that late
like
night
Tampa Bay.
McDonald's trip.
Okay, so this is where we're gonna bring in. Should I go? I should go JJ first.
JJ, don't.
Just based on
ADP,
ADP, even.
I'm pretty adverse to pushing the late round quarterbacks past ADP when you've already got the guy you need. You got Justin Jefferson on your team. Don't just assume someone's going to let him fall to you the next round when he should be going
Off the schnitt in the house. No, we don't have a bedtime. We don't have a bedtime. Plus, I couldn't leave that last stream up with the shitty mic quality. Well, I'm going to, but you know what I mean. Couldn't be my last stream I did today.
It happens. It happens all the time.
Oh, it does. It does.
I swear to God, earlier this week I was going through my Max just mic, and I assumed my mic was actually on. It was plugged in, but I hadn't switched it over, so I had the whole stream on a shitty mic.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
It'll get you.
I've done back when I first started, like full hour-long drafts on mute.
I've done a second half of a draft on mute. Oh God.
That's why I don't record videos anymore. Just go live and the chat will let me know if my mic's on or off.
Exactly.
So much easier. All right. If the last it's not even the last pick, 2572. We have Pitts and Likely. Are you okay with leaning in to Likely and maybe Pitts just having a great season? Are you good with these two?
I've never been a huge Pitts guy, but when you draft him that early, you're making the bet on him. You're just convincing yourself that it's going to be his season. So you guys stick with that. It's Pitts' year on this team.
Yeah, I was never a big Pitts guy either, but I think I'm a Kirk Cousins. I'm in on Kirk Cousins being there, and that's what's selling me the most on the Atlanta pass catchers.
Yeah, a little Perk Thuggins.
Yeah, a little Kirk Cousins crush, I guess. You like that shit? You like that shit?
Yeah, we all like Kirk Cousins.
He's a dude. He's such a white guy.
He's such a dad. He's like the most dad
100%.
since Phillip Rivers left NFL.
Okay. Are you drafting any Tank Bigsby? Are you believing any of the coach speak that they want to get him more involved?
Yeah, you got to sprinkle him in. They want to get him more involved. Does he want to get more involved though?
I would think so. I would hope so.
I know, right? I think it's tough. He didn't put really a lot of good snaps on tape last year. It's kind of unfortunate.
No, he did not. So, no, it looked bad. It looked ugly early and often.
It was some regret. I had a lot of Tank, last season in Bestball.
Yeah.
A decent, too much Tank.
Dude, everyone did. He was steamed up all the way to like 120s.
He was a 5-star recruit, going into college. He was a guy. He's the wrong tank though. We should have been on Tankdale the whole time.
Shout out to Tyler, who started this show with me way back. Very in on Tankdale and gave me that nugget in like March. It was like insane.
Nice.
He's on our YouTube short. Like we don't do shorts anymore, but he put him on the shorts as a prospect.
I was in the Pounders Discord when I was at the training camp. It was like I guess the first week of August. Yeah, it was August 4th. I was just looking at it. I got it right behind me. The pass. Okay, so you thinking tank here?
Yeah, let's mix him in. Again, if we could just find the
Sure.
RB2 in the offense, he doesn't even have to be good. He just has to be better than Dameon Pierce. He doesn't even have to be good. You're making the bet that
True.
you found the guy that is behind the starter. If there's an injury to the starter, that's where you're going to make your cake, and it doesn't have to be a season-long injury. Like he can miss a game, he can miss 3 games, and he ends up paying his ADP if he can get a couple spike weeks.
I agree. I'll say this: I'm high on Jacksonville, taking a lot of those receivers, taking T-Law all summer. So it makes sense to mix in some tank when you can. It
does.
Last year.
I'm at 11%. I'm sort of believing the coach speak that they don't want to give ETN all those carries. That being said, like he's getting the overwhelming amount of carries. It's not going to be a 60-40. I don't think it's be running back by committee. I think it's like change of pace. Like let's get Tank out there for a series. I could see it being like 80-20, and which means ETN could be a good pick at ADP and Tank at the same time. So that's sort of the way I'm seeing it.
That makes sense. All right, I got some more intel for you. There's a little bit of a homer take, but Keelan Robinson he went to Alabama, transferred to Texas. So I've watched every snap Keelan Robinson's played at Texas. Never missed a Texas game live, and he is not a threat to take over anyone's job. You see what Roshan Johnson did, Bijan Robinson was doing, Jonathan Brooks last season. Keelan was mixing in for minimal snaps, sometimes in the red zone, which is kind of concerning, but mostly he's special teams. And so not a threat there. I think that's a name that gets overlooked, but also has gotten brought up as like maybe a sleeper or someone that could do something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a threat to Tank unless Tank is just really not that guy. And then circumstance requires them to give someone else snaps.
Tank certainly looked like that guy. Jefferson, Adams, Cup, Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett. I like this fucking team. We got spike weeks. We got floor. Does it need another receiver? I don't.
It kind of doesn't, does it?
I don't think so.
So where do you go with this? This you could take Bryce Young.
I tried switching for Sanders, but I wasn't going to get to Bryce Young with 1 second on the clock.
Yeah, you don't need him though either. JJ McCarthy's fine with Lamar.
Yeah, I'd rather go 3 tight ends over 3 QBs just because. I mean, the odd chance that you can start 2, and maybe you can some point this year if you have an injury to Andrews, but I'm good with it. We have a lot of investment here. 5
one thing
by Lockett.
I was just remembering from last season, getting into August, training camps are going on. They're interviewing. I'm watching an interview with Lamar Jackson right after he's coming off the field, and Lamar Jackson says, "Yeah, I was throwing a lot to Zay. Zay was getting open." And they go, "Oh, Zay Flowers?" And he goes, "No, Zay, Isaiah Likely." And I was like, "Oh shit, he's on a first name basis. He's calling Isaiah Likely Zay. Like that's one of his guys."
Better be.
And so that kind of juiced me a little bit to take more Likely, that Lamar Jackson like trusts him and like is looking for him to develop as one of his pass catchers.
It's the old like, what are they gonna do with the snap counts in Baltimore with a healthy Mark Andrews? That is,
it's all going to Mark Andrews though, right?
Only worry is like
he's so good
when Andrews is healthy. likely has not been on the field. Like, this is alarming. It's alarming. They don't run a lot of 2 tight end sets. So he's proven he can ball. Like, he's proven he can ball. But they also didn't have anyone at receiver last year. If they were going to run 2 tight end sets, it would have been last year. It would have been last year. Like, they had no
Preach.
one. And it gets a little
Spot
better
on.
this year, I think. It gets a little better.
Is that a bull case for Tez Walker then? Hey, they don't have
Yeah,
anyone to throw to.
well, it's a little better. This worries me. So I get it. He's probably worth mixing in to get around 6% at least because of the upside of an injury to Andrews, who hasn't been able to
Sure.
stay healthy really the last 2 seasons.
It's a
So
tough position to play, right? It's a lot of injuries.
it's weird because we're drafting a handcuffed tight end. That's how it feels.
I know.
That's how
Yeah.
it feels to me.
There's been a few teams over the years though where
This is true.
that's been all right. Even last year, we were taking Taysom Hill and Jawan Johnson.
Mhm.
That's a recent one I can think of.
Taysom Hill, yeah, as a tight end, now he's a QB on Underdog.
I can't remember. Were you on to both Musgrave and Kraft last season, or were you one or the other?
No, I didn't like either.
Mm,
I didn't like either of them. I think I was mixing in Musgrave, but I was definitely not on Kraft.
yeah, just speaking to injury, the pec injury to Kraft right now has got me a little bit concerned. So I've not been drafting him as much, but this is probably as cheap as he gets. Musgrave,
Base free.
sometimes I'll just throw him on any team there in the middle. But I want to get more Jordan Love exposure. It's some of these Packers are going to be underpriced. I just don't know who yet.
Yes, but some of these Packers are going to be overpriced, like
Yeah, that too.
extremely overpriced. They're not all paying out, boys. I'm sorry. And how big is the payout? Like, pull up these guys' snap counts. This scares me too. Like, I think they're each going to have their weeks, but let me cough here.
It's hard to
Mic
know,
off,
right?
pro move. They're all going to have their weeks, but holy shit, man. Like, they're going to be splitting time. And when Watson's healthy, who's coming off the field? It's got to be Wicks. It's got to be Wicks. It's not Reed.
Definitely an evolving situation to keep a close eye on.
Dobbs, they like Dobbs. They're playing the highest amount of snaps last year, and again, Reed's a rookie last year, so you do expect this to be a little lower. I do think you get an uptick from Reed. Watson, if he can stay healthy, that's like the big thing. If he can stay healthy, like 84%, 88%, they like him in 2 wide receiver sets. Dude, Wicks is the odd man out. I can't get behind the Wicks click. I'm sorry, boys. We missed it. The train has left. He's at like 120 now. And we're leaving him in Boston. Can't do it. Where are you on Wicks? This is a safe place. This is safe.
Okay. All right. Thank you for saying that. That actually helps. I was taking him in a 150, 140s. Now that he's in the 130s, I'm not really finding him on my teams as often. I'm not afraid to click him, but it's got to be the right team. It's got to be a team where I've already got Jordan Love.
125.
And see, that's the thing though, is like if you take Jordan Love and you missed out on Christian Watson, especially if you missed out on Jaden Reed, you're kind of like, oh, what do I do? Take Wicks at 118.
Is this like the Miami running back case where it's like we're just gonna take the latest guy? It's like
one of them's not going to work out. Jeff Wilson Jr. last year.
At least one. At least one.
At least
I
one.
liked Wicks in the 150s. 140s. I just in this range, I'd rather go downs later. I'd rather personally just go Roman Wilson over Wicks straight up.
That's an interesting one. Do you put anything behind that the Steelers are looking to acquire someone like it could be Ayuk?
Yeah.
Is T. Higgins moving? Is that going to happen?
You're still talking about the wide receiver 3 versus the wide receiver 4 in an offense. That's if that happens. It's not guaranteed that
Yeah.
they bring someone in. It's not absolutely guaranteed. This offense is like, who knows what it's going to look like with 2 QBs, but I think right
No,
now at
I'm with you.
155, there's no risk right now,
There's no
in my
risk on a
opinion.
Roman Wilson click. It's kind of like how
It's
Jermaine Burton's been. He's obviously rising, but I think you're right. Yeah, no risk pick. Pat,
like
tell me more
we're
about this overlay you got going on. I've been
oh
seeing this on
shit.
your
Oh
stream.
shit. Yeah, yeah. It's going to be coming out in probably a week. We want the pounders, the Patreon members to sort of have at it for a little bit. Not like testing. Like we've been testing this thing for 8 months, so this thing's solid. It's ready to roll out. So we're just letting the Patreon members play with it right now. And
Exciting, man.
and yeah, it's just so easy to do. Like we just did 3 drafts, and you can sift through so quick. And it's refreshing. And then when I'm reviewing people's teams too, like I can see everyone else's correlation. Like it's so easy to just like go through people's teams so quick when I'm doing like the little draft grades.
That's a fun tool. That's really cool. It's a nice feature. So
So,
yeah,
and then like if you
pumped
want
to see
week
that.
15 on there, you could put week 15, and there's a couple more tools. Logan has it downloaded. He says it's great, and yeah, it's a little thank you to the Patreon members right now. Will Pittsburgh sign a dusty free agent if 49er doesn't come over? Like, who are you afraid of? Who are you afraid of?
Wasn't that Van Jefferson? Am I
He
thinking correctly
signed.
right
No,
now?
I think no. Van
Yeah,
Jefferson signed. Where'd he
yeah,
go?
that's him.
He didn't go to Buffalo, did he? Oh yeah, he went to Pittsburgh. Yeah, he signed. I'm not worried about Van Jeffy. I'm not worried about Van Jeffy. I think the lack of confidence that the Rams had in him actually says a lot. That this dude's career is like nearing. It's nearing the end. So Michael Thomas redemption arc. Oh shit. Michael Thomas, my man. That would be wild. That'd be wild because he would probably pass Roman Wilson in ADP, and I would just buy the dip on Wilson if that happened.
That'd be one of those big names that makes a splash. But yeah,
So I've
what about Kareem
been
Hunt? Any thoughts that he might land somewhere, or is he just done? Is that injury that was I think it was a groin to end the year, or is it no?
yeah,
It was a hernia or something.
yeah, it's probably over for Hunt. It's probably over for Hunt.
A lot of touchdowns
It
last
didn't
year.
look good. But I mean, hey, Dallas brought Zeke back. So some of these dusty backs, they have a little bit of hope. They have a little bit of hope.
Isn't
Especially
that
this class.
crazy?
This class wasn't that impressive. And then like where the running backs landed were like not really the best like spots for like spots of need, in my opinion. I was praying like Trey
Right.
Benson went to like Vegas. I thought Vegas would have been a
Mm.
crazy landing spot for Trey Benson. Crazy landing spot. But what was I gonna pull up? The rookies and sophomores. I ended up
Those
with
drafts,
60% Roman Wilson.
nice. How many
So
of those did you
he
fire
wasn't
off?
really being drafted. Only 30 because again, sort
Okay.
of like super flex.
Yeah,
The
just for fun.
ADPs once they change, and this is something that we brought up to
You're talking about
the
this
people
last
on the
night,
live
or
stream. Yeah, it's just like
yeah,
Superflex. Like when the ADPs change, the the juice is all gone. Like there's no more juice. Now I'll admit I probably did another 5 or 6 to like get to 30 when I knew like the QBs have already moved, but like
yeah.
getting A-Rich at 7 and Bryce Young at 34, uh, A-Rich at 7 and Will Levis at 23, but it just where they moved to is the crazy thing. It's really crazy. So, if you were in on these early, like you were getting Quentin Johnson for free, you're getting Roman Wilson for free, Michael Wilson, bunch of rookies. Obviously, the Rashee Rice thing definitely hurts, but
Yeah, that's I was looking at my exposure to him. I think it was only like 20%. which is about right, I think, right? It's a four-man draft.
Yeah.
Those were
Yep.
fun. I was getting carried away bullying people off of quarterbacks and making someone in the pod like completely screwed at QB. It was too fun, so I couldn't stop drafting those. But you're right, the ADP change, and then it's gone.
Right. Like, look at this room. This is a room that was probably sharper. Justin Herzig, Brian, whoever this guy is that has goat horns. Like, everyone has goat horns in this room. And where QBs were
Always.
going, this was day one. This is where they were going to end up. So this was like draft number 8. And in a sharper room, you have to adjust. Otherwise, you end up like you're holding the empty pail at the end. So yeah, it's fun and like different. Oh, I don't even have it up. Just absolute.
We're just vibing. I'm listening in my head. This sounds really good.
Herzig, Bry, yeah, and like this was a draft that
Herzig, he
like,
maxed it. He was in like so many of the drafts.
Yeah,
He was in a ton of
he
the rooms.
He was.
Um,
So you could see like where the ADPs were going to go in sharper rooms. And shout out to Bry. He was actually in a lot of these with us. But to get A Rich at 7 and Bryce Young at 34 on day one, where in a room with Herzig, like you had to adjust. It's just hard to beat those advantages. Same thing with Superflex. It's really hard to beat those advantages of the day 1 drafters and the day 2 drafters. That being said, they might not win the tournament because of numbers. That doesn't mean they don't have the advantage, but because it's only 10% full, there's 90% other teams. There's 9x more teams. So just because you don't see those like early drafters win, it doesn't mean that that the advantage isn't there. So I only ended up with 9
for sure. Yeah, that's something that comes up. The more I think about, people are starting to talk strategy about how many drafts you're going to do in August for BVN 5, and I'm like, well, I was planning originally to do a certain amount. Then I was thinking maybe I'll do a little bit more. But when it comes down to timing, it's like I'm just trying to get drafts in consistently when I can, and definitely I want to get a lot. When you have all that information at the end of the draft season, but at the same time, like still firing them off right now.
Yeah. Yep. And we're getting little snippets of information like the Braylon Allen thing. I called him Braylon Hall the other day too. It's like a mix of Brees Hall and Braylon Hall. How soon do you think ADPs get sharper? And you're going to see ADPs change so fucking much in July when training camp starts that like it's going to be all off season from July to August. That's when the biggest changes happen. That's when people are getting injured. You're getting positive and negative news. Maybe you get a trade. Like you get some random stuff that happens. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while.
It's gonna evolve. Right now, it's like how confident are you in who's the starter or the wide receiver 2 or the RB2 in any given backfield situation team. Last night we were talking about the Broncos a lot. Are you sure who their RB1 is, their wide receiver 2 is, who their tight end is, who their quarterback is? All these things can change, and we're always surprised. We look back at our early boards from previous seasons, and it's embarrassing how wrong some of the takes are. And so there's still a lot. A lot
and
to
that's
evolve.
why it's like go get your guys. Another one's like the Giants. Like outside of neighbors, who's the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, who's the tight end 1? Do you lean Theo Johnson or Bellinger?
If I looked at my exposures, I've got more Bellinger. I'm open to Theo Johnson. Hopefully, I don't have to take either. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not super convinced. I liked Bellinger just fine though. Previously, I've kind of had an eye on him. What is he? Isn't he just a Theo Johnson, maybe with 2 years of NFL experience?
I don't know. When I think of Bellinger, I have to get the photo of him just like absolutely cut up and huge out
That
of
was
my
last
head.
season, right?
That
With
the bias
Jack
of
Bellinger.
the photo, yeah, the bias of the photo last year had people drafting him. Augustus
That's
says
me.
people only
I was
become
buying him because of that.
yeah, right. People only become more expensive
That's so funny.
towards closer to the season. Yes and no. There are definitely a good amount of fallers too. With risers come fallers. But yeah, the ADPs they get flipped. Like they really do. They change a lot. So that's why I try to stress early in BBM draft season, like don't try to get some rare combination by reaching because ADPs might just change by August, and it's not a rare combo at all.
You go on a July 4th vacation, you take a couple of days to touch grass, you come back, and Alexander Madison's a 5th-round pick, and you're like, "What happened?" It's madness,
Dude, I think I was at like 5% when he was at like 125. So the full fade
Yeah,
on
I
Madison
got
last year.
0. I got full fade
I
on him when he went below 100.
he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad in the 120 range. And when he got to 60, 70, 80, 90, I was a very, very much a Madison fader. It was very
Here's the best
vocal
part,
about
though.
that one. That
The
one
best
started
part about the
fights. That
Madison.
one started fights in the
Yes,
comments. Like you were either
of
all the
course.
way in or all the way the fuck out.
But he gets the last laugh. Madison was on, he was the RB1 taken in Fareed's team that won Best Ball Mania 4. Literally Alexander Madison 0 RB
Mhm.
team. If I remember correctly, I'm thinking back to seeing that team posted and all that, but I'm pretty sure. So he
Mhm.
gets the last laugh. He was on the winning team.
Oh yeah,
What are
yeah.
the odds?
He didn't do anything, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, plenty of other hits on that team.
Hey, what's going on? We're just about to take off. Appreciate everyone coming out for the second stream tonight. If you did enjoy, go down, slap the like on the way out, hit the sub. We're going to be doing a 24-hour live stream at 2,000 subs, and we're on our way. Give my man, the Candy Man, Fantasy Football Garage, a follow on the YouTube machine. Grinds super late at night, typically around this time. And yeah, wish us luck. We got a championship hockey game tomorrow, men's league hockey. It's big stuff. It's important stuff. What do you have going on? Tell the people.
Good luck with that. Yeah, man. That sounds fun. Yeah, I got just streams coming up. No set for sure schedule now, but I'm definitely out here in the late night, kind of in my day, and then I get that itch to get out here and draft. And so it's like, I could be doing it off stream, or I could just throw the stream on and if it works out. So I'm trying to get some
Sick.
more,
Sick.
at least a few streams a week. We'll try to get in, stay more consistent with that. But
Perfect.
but yeah,
That's what
so
it's all
league
about.
hockey's wrapping up.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Nice.
little tournament, little charity tournament. So
That was solid.
man, yeah, it was chippy today. It was chippy today. Helmet broke, like it was a good
Any
game.
fights?
Good
Any
game.
fights break out? This is
Oh
ice
yeah.
hockey, right?
Oh, it
Not
was
roller.
nonstop. Oh yeah. Nonstop all day. That's what it is. But all right, guys.
That's wild.
We'll catch you on the next one. I hope everyone has a good night. Pounders.